AITA for refusing to attend my sister's wedding because of her choice of bridesmaids? My sister, Emily, and I have always had a complicated relationship. Growing up, she was the golden child, straight A's, star athlete, popular with everyone. I was more of the quiet, artistic type, and our parents always made it clear Emily was their favorite. Despite that, I've tried to maintain a decent relationship with her. We talk occasionally, and I've always been there for her in major life moments. Recently, Emily got engaged to her fiancé, Mark. I was genuinely happy for her and excited to be part of the wedding. When she asked me to be a bridesmaid, I was honored. However, that's when things started to unravel. Emily's bridal party consists of 4 bridesmaids, including me. The other 3 are her longtime friends from college and her fiancé's sister. What immediately struck me as odd was the makeup of her bridesmaids compared to her closest family. Our mother and father aren't in the bridal party, nor is our older brother, who's extremely close to her. Instead, she chose these specific 4 women for reasons she shared during a family dinner. According to Emily, the bridesmaids were selected because they're the only ones who actually support me fully and don't have drama. She then went on to explain that the rest of the family, including me, had been too negative and unsupportive about her relationship with Mark. I was stunned. I didn't think I'd been negative at all. The truth is, I have my reservations about Mark. He's a charming guy on the surface, but has a reputation for being manipulative and disrespectful, especially towards women. Some of my friends who know him have confided in me about incidents where he was controlling or rude. I voiced these concerns gently to Emily early on, trying to protect her, but she brushed them off, saying I was jealous or overreacting. Emily's dismissal of my concerns hurt me deeply, but I wanted to respect her choices. However, her public declaration that I'm unsupportive felt like a personal attack. I reached out to her to ask why she felt that way, but she was vague and defensive, saying she just needed people around her who believe in her. The tension came to a head a few weeks ago when Emily invited me to a pre-wedding brunch with the bridal party. During the brunch, 2 of the bridesmaids made subtle but pointed comments about how I was dramatic and causing tension. It was humiliating, and I left early, feeling completely alienated. After that incident, Emily sent me a message asking if I was still going to be in the wedding. I responded that I was reconsidering, given how unwelcome I felt. She replied that if I didn't attend as a bridesmaid, I might as well not come at all because the day would be about her and Mark, not family drama. I was shocked. I told her I loved her and I wanted to support her, but I couldn't ignore how hurtful she and the bridal party had been. I said I would come to the wedding, but as a guest, not as a bridesmaid. Emily hasn't spoken to me since. My parents are caught in the middle. They think I'm being stubborn and selfish for not just going along with Emily's wishes. They say weddings are about supporting the couple and not about airing grievances. My brother is angry that I'm making everything about me and ruining what should be a happy day. Some of my friends say I'm right to stand up for myself and not be part of a group that's basically excluding me. Others think I'm overreacting and causing unnecessary family drama. I'm torn because I want to be there for my sister, but I also don't want to pretend everything is fine when I feel deeply hurt and disrespected. I'm worried this will permanently damage our relationship, but I can't ignore my feelings just to keep the peace. So, AITA for refusing to be a bridesmaid in my sister's wedding because of how she and her bridal party have treated me. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps the content grow and motivates me to create even more great videos. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any new uploads. By the way, I'm curious, when do you usually watch my videos? While working, studying, or just relaxing at home? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your support. AITA for refusing to host my sister's wedding at my house after she insulted my parenting. This is going to be a bit long, but I'll try to keep it as clear as possible. I, 34F, have a younger sister, Anna, 28F. We have always had a bit of a complicated relationship, but I've done my best to keep things civil over the years. Recently, though, things have escalated to the point where I'm genuinely questioning whether I'm in the wrong here or if she is. To give some background, I have 2 kids, ages 6 and 4. I'm a stay-at-home mom while my husband works full-time. We live in a modest 3-bedroom house that we bought about 5 years ago. It's not huge, but it's comfortable, and we've put a lot of love into making it a home for our family. My sister and her fiancé have been together for about 5 years, and they recently got engaged. A couple of months ago, Anna called me out of the blue to tell me that she and her fiancé wanted to host their wedding at my house. The idea was that it would be intimate, family-only, and low-key. Honestly, I was surprised because I never thought my place would be suitable for a wedding, even a small one. But I asked her to tell me more. She said she wanted to have about 30 people, mostly family and close friends, with a casual vibe. She wanted to decorate the backyard and have some food catered. I told her that I wasn't sure if the space was big enough and that I'd have to think about it. The kids' stuff, the furniture, the usual family chaos, all of it made me hesitant. But I didn't outright say no. I wanted to see if it could work. Over the next few weeks, Anna kept pushing the idea, sending me Pinterest boards, photos of other backyard weddings, and ideas for how to set things up. She was very insistent that this would be the perfect, meaningful way to celebrate without the pressure and cost of a big venue. I still wasn't comfortable, but I was willing to discuss how to make it work without disrupting the kids too much. Then things took a turn when I mentioned to her that I wasn't keen on having the kids' toys and play areas torn apart or covered with wedding stuff. I said I'd prefer to keep my home environment intact for my children since the wedding would be just one day, but the mess and stress would last much longer. I also said I'd like help with setup and cleanup because I didn't want to handle everything on top of my usual responsibilities. Anna responded in a way that shocked me. She accused me of being selfish and not supportive, saying that I was letting my kids dictate her wedding. She told me I was prioritizing toys over family memories, and that she was disappointed in how I was acting. She said it felt like I didn't want her wedding in my house because of my perfect little family bubble, and implied that I was being difficult on purpose. I tried to explain that it wasn't about the kids or the home being perfect, but about the practicalities and the stress involved in hosting an event like this. I also mentioned that I'd have to take care of the kids during the wedding, which would be challenging. Anna snapped back, saying that if I really loved her, I'd find a way to make it work because it was her special day. She ended the conversation saying she was hurt and that I wasn't being the sister she thought I was. At this point, I told her I needed time to think. I spoke to my husband, who agreed that it was a lot to ask and that we weren't comfortable with the idea. We decided to tell Anna no, but we'd be happy to help in other ways, like assisting with invitations or recommendations for venues. When we told Anna our decision, she exploded. She called me selfish again, said I didn't support her, and accused me of making everything about my kids. She also said she was going to look for other family members to host the wedding, which felt like a deliberate move to guilt me. After that, she stopped talking to me for about 2 weeks. Now, the rest of the family is involved because some relatives think I'm being unreasonable. They say that hosting a small wedding at home isn't a big deal and that I'm being overly sensitive. Others side with me, saying that hosting an event like that requires a lot of energy and that it's fair to say no. My sister has since started planning the wedding elsewhere, but continues to give me cold shoulder vibes whenever we see each other. I'm wondering if I was wrong to refuse. Should I have just said yes and dealt with the inconvenience? Or was I justified in protecting my home and my kids' routine? I want to hear your judgment because I'm honestly torn. Thanks in advance. AITA for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding because she excluded me from the bridal party and then guilt-tripped me. My sister and I have never exactly been close, but I always try to keep things civil. We're 7 years apart, and she's always been the golden child in our family. Perfect grades, perfect social life, perfect everything. Me? I was the weird middle child who kept to myself, into books and art rather than sports or parties. Our parents have always been a little biased in her favor, and while it never caused a huge rift, it made me feel invisible at times. Fast forward to now, I'm 28, and my sister is 35. She got engaged last year and immediately started planning a very traditional, big wedding. When she first announced her engagement, I was genuinely happy for her. I asked if she wanted me to be a bridesmaid, because I figured that would be nice. I mean, it's her big day, and being in her bridal party would be a way to connect, maybe finally bridge the gap between us. She said no. Not just a no, but in no way kind of answer. She told me she didn't want me in the bridal party because I'm too unpredictable and drama-prone and that it wouldn't look good for her wedding. That hurt, especially because I've never caused any drama around her wedding or anything like that. I asked if I could be involved in other ways, like helping with decorations or invitations, but she ignored those suggestions. Then came the invitations to the wedding itself. I was invited, but it was clear I was a guest and nothing more. She even invited some co-workers I barely know as bridesmaids. I felt so hurt and excluded, but I didn't say much. I just kept quiet and told myself to be supportive. Here's where things got complicated. About 2 months before the wedding, my sister called me and told me that since I'm not in the bridal party, I wouldn't be expected to pay anything for the wedding. I thought that was fair. Bridesmaids usually pay for dresses, trips, etc., and since I wasn't involved, I wasn't on the hook for those costs. A week later, my parents called me separately and said my sister was upset that I wasn't contributing financially. She was hurt that I wasn't showing more support by helping pay for the wedding or contributing to things like the rehearsal dinner or group gifts. They said she even told them she felt betrayed by me and that my refusal to chip in was cold. I was shocked. I never expected to pay anything for her wedding. I asked my parents why they thought I should, and they said it was just family expectations and that weddings are expensive for everyone. I decided to call my sister directly to clear the air. I told her I was happy to help with small things like buying a gift or helping with setup if she wanted, but I wasn't comfortable paying for the wedding itself since I wasn't involved in the bridal party or the planning. I said I hope we could find a way to support each other without it being about money. She responded by saying she felt like I didn't care about her or her happiness and that family should support each other, especially for something as big as a wedding. She told me she didn't want a guest, but a sister who stood by her side, and implied that my refusal to pay was selfish and hurtful. I told her I was hurt that she excluded me from the bridal party and then expected money from me anyway. I said I felt like she wanted me to pay to make up for being excluded, and that felt unfair. After that conversation, things got icy. My sister started posting vague, passive-aggressive things on social media about family not pulling their weight and people who only show up for the free food and drinks. Our parents also started hinting to me that I should reconsider and help out or risk damaging our relationship. I haven't responded to those messages. The wedding is in 2 weeks, and I plan to attend, but I haven't offered any financial help. I'm honestly torn. I want to support my sister, but I also don't want to reward what feels like exclusion and emotional manipulation. My friends and some family members say I'm not the asshole because I wasn't involved and shouldn't be forced to pay. Others say I'm being petty and should just pay to keep the peace. So, Reddit, AITA for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding after she excluded me from the bridal party and then guilt-tripped me into feeling obligated?